Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to another amazing, life-changing podcast, After Work Mood, with myself, Jonathan Appleby, and
Ian.
And Sophia.
And today we're going to be talking...
Our last name are of Appleby, so it's fine.
Yes,
Oh,
we're
sure.
all a big family.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all related. Incestuous relationship.
So anyway,
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about love, just probably should say it properly.
about single life.
And just about being single, being in love, and because we've all had quite a few ranging experiences. So I'll just quickly start. So my longest relationship was 2.5 years. I'm now currently single. Just gone through a traumatic breakup, trying to find my feet again.
And second one, me.
Yeah, go for it, girl.
My longest relationship was 4 years, around 4.5 years, and had a huge period of time, was single, like doing things around. And now I'm in a relationship for 8 months, I guess. Yeah.
Still fresh.
Still fresh, super fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually still in the relationship with my first boyfriend. So this is very rare, I guess.
Yeah. How many years?
For almost 6 years.
Damn.
When is your anniversary? Remember?
5th April.
5th
Soon.
April.
Yes.
That's very close to my birthday.
Is
We should
it?
celebrate together.
Oh, yes.
You two in the restaurant, I just pop up with like, hi! Happy
will
birthday to
buy,
me!
Yeah, we can buy
Okay.
nice hats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So my first question for you two is...
Yeah, so wait, you have to explain how we're gonna.
Okay,
proceed
so we
this.
both kind of like gathered some questions and we're just going to kind of direct them at one another and just to get each other's responses. So my first question is a question to both of you and is, how would you describe love to somebody who has no idea what it is?
Well, this one is like super complicated.
This is super deep.
Yeah.
Can we start with something easy and
Yeah.
chill?
Don't-
This is like the deepest.
Is it?
Let's start with something really like a really real, like a
Okay, you
realistic.
start.
No. You said you start, so you have to.
That was
ask
my
it.
first question.
What's
Okay.
your second one then?
My phone died.
So I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Because you both experienced being single in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me your weirdest story. Your weirdest dating story.
Jonathan, you start.
That's not fair. You get time to think. Okay,
That's why.
So yeah, I've been single in a big city twice now. I'm luckily not come across many weird stories. As for like dating, probably the fact weird story was that when I started dating somebody serious after my first relationship, it just so happened that the person I was dating was somehow friends with my ex's new boyfriend. And
Drama.
and you could say, okay, if you live in the same city, that's likely, but actually we lived in different cities. My ex lived in London, I lived in the middle of England, and this guy I was dating also lived in another city. And yeah, and it kind of got a little bit awkward because I remember my ex just messaging me like saying, oh, every time I'm with my boyfriend, he's, every time I'm out with my boyfriend, David's there. Oh shit.
There's
David's there.
hundreds of Davids.
And David's there, and he's just talking about you the whole time. And I think my ex at this time was not over me at all.
Yeah.
And I think this guy he was dating was just kind of like a rebound. And yeah, and that was weird for me. But the funny thing is, the real joke of the story is I knew before anyone, because I knew that his new boyfriend was working in the airport, and I knew the guy I was dating was airport, so a little bit of Facebooking, and I realised they were mutual friends.
But you didn't mention it.
I didn't mention it to anybody, and then about a month later, my ex messaged me and goes, so, how's David? How's dating David? And I was furious. And he was like, what? Why are you so angry? And I was like, do you know what, you little bitch? Just disappear. Anyway, so that was probably the weirdest thing when it comes to dating, but no weird like having sex and suddenly he like tells me he's into like pineapples or something. Nothing. I don't know. Something crazy which is like you read online, but no, nothing weird like that yet. Still single, still a child.
For me, I think the weirdest thing is, I think I told you the story, also happened in Leeds, but that's not in a big city. Leeds is not that big.
But okay. It's
Yeah,
fine.
so
As
the
long
thing-
as it's weird.
The thing happened was I met this guy. He was like really cute, and but he's my age back then, so like 25, 24. But he's already owned a bar because he was working in the one bar for like a long time, and then his boss decided to retire and ask him if he want to take over. So he took over. I mentioned that because that was his excuse whenever I cannot reach him. So the thing is, like, we usually meet at night, and then in the beginning was just sex. Basically, it was just sex, and then after some time, I didn't really take anything seriously because he's usually not around. So then he started to say like, yeah, but I was like, yeah, what do you want? I just want sex. And then he started to say, yeah, but I developed some feelings, blah blah. I was like, okay, let's try it out. Then after half a year or something, we met again. Like 4 months sometimes, yeah. And then we met again, and then he was like, in the middle of the night, and he came to my place. Of course, what's gonna happen? Sex. And then we did it, and he started to tell me like his life story and a lot of things and stuff like that. After a while, I had to go to London to meet my friend there, and I said, do you want to meet up before I go? Because I'm gonna be gone for like a week. And he was like, oh, no, I can't. I was like, oh, okay, then it's fine. But what are you up to? Why can't you? Because I thought you said you were free. And he said, oh, I have to be with my little man. I was like, what little man? And he said, my son. Then I was like, wait a minute, what? And then he said, yeah, I have a son. I'm a single dad.
What the fuck?
Yes.
He never told you.
And how long were you dating
ever.
again? How long in total?
Well, we met like 3 times in total, but that was like half a year. But I have never taken it seriously, but it was just like so fucked up. And then the most fucked up part is because he's from West Yorkshire, and then he has really thick ass accent. In the very beginning, I couldn't really understand him, but he was like, I told you in the first date. I was like, why on earth I would ask you, or you would tell me when the first date is just sex? I basically just went to his place and have sex, that's it. So there's no time to talk about this kind of thing. And in the beginning, I thought like, okay, maybe that's my fault that I didn't hear anything like that, you know? And then at the end, I realized that because that day, the first date, he only had 1 condoms, and he said he borrowed it from someone else, from his housemate. And I was like, so I was jokingly asked, have you ever used condoms? Like, he was like, actually not really often because I'm usually in a relationship or something. And I was like, so have you ever had a kid? That was just joking. But he was like, oh, no, God, no. And then I realized that I remember that, and I asked him about that. He basically just ghosted. That's the thing, whenever I ask him something that more serious, like as a person you want to be in a serious relationship, he just ghosts.
Oh yeah.
So he was just after
I
the
hear
video.
that from so many people when they
Exactly.
start dating people, and then it's not really serious, but still it's just
But they're
it's
trying-
just so fucked up to
Yeah,
ghost.
but no, they're trying to make things serious because so they can
It's
hook
fine
you.
if you don't
there.
want to do it. I
Yeah,
think if
that's
you,
what I told
if
him.
you
I was
say,
like,
okay,
I'm not searching for anything serious because the
yes.
point is I'm not gonna stay here probably in another half year.
Yeah.
And then he ghosted it on me. I was like, okay, fine, and I just bye. I mean, just whatever. And then actually, after I came to Berlin, he still messaged me. And I straight up asked me, what exactly do you want? I'm not even in England anymore. He was like, I just want to know if you're fine. I was like, yeah, fine without you. Yeah, that's probably the weirdest. But there are still tons of weird things that have happened to me. Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm quite... It's not a hobby, but I have ghosted quite a few times.
Really?
I know it's
I
horrible.
can imagine you doing
But not
that.
complete full-out ghosting.
No, also, oh my god, there is another also weird story. I met someone also online.
You got too many stories.
Yeah, like, I was just
This is the new podcast topic.
Just two. So basically, what happened was I was working in this burger place in Leeds, and there's a chain store. I think I told you, and I remember because I was introduced by one of my best friends when I was in Leeds, and I remember they were talking about this cook. Like, he's such a douchebag, he's just a scum, he's always high when he comes to work and stuff like that, and he's so narcissistic and stuff like that. And then there was just one night I went to his place, like just really random. I was like, hey, do you want to do it? Yeah, do it. And I went to his place. And then he told me his name, and then I saw his photo on the dating app. He was a cook. And I was like, wait a minute. And I remember this name. And we started talking and then realized he is that fucked up cook. But I was there already, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do this. I just need some more beer.
Wait a second.
Okay, wait. So let me finish this story so you can ask me questions. So, and then we basically had sex for the whole night. Like, he didn't let me go. At the end I feel like raped. It was like whole night. And the next day I told my friend this story. He was like, oh my God, Ian, you know I love you, but this is so disgusting. This is so disgusting. And my friend was with his girlfriend for like 5 years as well. And then the next day when after I told him, he was like, it's all your fault. I had a dream, and I dreamt my girlfriend had sex with him. He was like, that's the most disgusting thing you have ever done. I'm sorry, but this is just no. And I was like, well, it's happened. You have to accept
so why
it.
was he disgusting? Just
because that guy is just basically a scum.
Yeah, but you just needed him for one thing.
Exactly, but
why is that disgusting then?
Because from what my friend know, he fucked like around, and then probably.
Hello. Now it's working again.
Working.
Okay.
So
okay, now we have to talk about what just happened.
Right, ladies, so something serious went down. The microphone displugged and we're talking for 20 minutes. It wasn't recording, but we're just going to pick up from where we left off. And
yeah, but the thing is, it stopped by somewhere I said the guy was fucking around.
Yes,
What's the point?
So, no, we're just talking about now about like the passion in the relationship and how after 2 years that initial like addiction and passion kind of fades.
Yes.
How about we start over? Because it's nothing.
No, we just carry on.
Sure.
Yeah, we just carry on.
Oh, okay.
And we're just talking about how that addiction ends and it's kind of like love's a drug, and when that drug kind of runs out, it's kind of like building the relationship again, kind of, to a point where it's kind of like, it's not, you'll love something more than what Disney tells you it is. It's like, because the media kind of has this idea that love is this obsession phase, but actually love's perhaps a little bit more practical than that. So I was just saying that my last relationship ended because I was looking for that passion, because me and my ex-boyfriend, we kind of got together just because it was very practical, and we were both looking for like sexual experiences, to be in love, because when I was like 14 years old, I used to dream about having a boyfriend. So when I left
14, that's really
mate,
good.
I always used to dream about being in love, and I used to pretend like he'd hug me, and I used to like hug a pillow and pretend it was my boyfriend. And I remember I used to like pretend he was like walking around my house, like in my head. I think he's like walking past the landing, he's coming into my room, he's got me tea, you know, just these things.
So
and
British.
There's no British story without tea. Right?
Yeah, literally. So and so when I went to university, I met somebody and he was looking for the exact same thing. He was just kind of looking for love for other reasons, but we just kind of, it's very unpassionate, but what we had was amazing, and it was 2.5 years of like, you know,
basically just two kind of desperate people found each other.
And like,
but maybe for that time it was exactly what you needed.
Yeah, we both needed it. And like when it ended, it was very funny because I was so over it before it ended. Like, sorry if you ever listened to this, my ex, but I was over it before it ended. And I think he was a little bit. I think he was just a little bit lost of his life, and he kind of put his future in me. And it was really funny because I remember like a year and a half after we ended the relationship, and I was already in some other drama, and I was so over that, like, and he was still like messaging, he was still like calling love and saying, and I was thinking like, how can you still be so passionate like all this time? And I think like, I realised this recently, but sometimes passion and love, it only like, sometimes if you can't have it and it's kind of leaving you, and then it kind of like, if he broke up with me, I'll be messaging him, you know, and he'd be like, oh God. It's really interesting how our minds work.
But I think that's very common. Many people have that.
Yeah, I also have to mention that because actually I also think I was like you, like my relationship 4 years, and before, like I think 1 year before that, once I knew that I'm gonna leave Taiwan, and honestly I don't think I will ever go back for like long-term wise, it was long gone. And then I just stayed with him because the thing is, well, I still loved him, but I realized, I'm really sure it's not gonna work because we don't have the same life goals. Yes, so I moved out and then stuff like that, and at the end there was, after I think almost 1 year after we broke up, and in between I have already like explored a lot, because I told you guys when I before I left Asia, I still live in this mentality, like very conservative one. And I was like, okay, fuck it, no one knows me here, so let's just go to the world, explore whatever that is. And I was like way over him. I even deleted his Facebook account and stuff. I still remember his birthday actually. But Anyway, so Chinese New Year, there was one Chinese New Year, and he asked me, like, hey, Happy New Year, blah, blah, just greet me. And then I just randomly asked him, how are you? That was 1 year after we broke up. And then he was like, how can you ask me that kind of question? You know how I am. Like,
yeah.
It's not even a question. I was like, really? I mean, it's been 1 year, and then I'm his 5th girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was like 5 years older than me. He started working when he was 18. And he was like, yeah, of course, it's not about second or whatever, but that was just really bad. And also, I broke up with him via text. Oh my god, I was so bad.
Oh, that's really not nice.
Yeah, because we were in long distance, and then it was just that was just one night before I went to sleep. But the time.
That's fine.
Oh, but the time difference was just like 8 hours or 9 hours, I forgot. But then it was just, I hit the point that I don't want to do this anymore. But I cannot call him because I was in the middle of the night. He wouldn't pick up. But I was just like, it's an urge. I have to break up.
Yeah, you have to act on the urge.
Because actually within the 4 years, once I've realized what he wanted, he told me like 2 weeks when we were serious. It was like way too early. And I actually freaked out the whole 4 year. Because whenever I thought about him, I would think about like, what if I still don't want what he wants after 4 years, and he's hitting 30, and for him it's really like a late age to get married and kids. But I was like 19, you know?
Well, so he's age.
So throughout the whole 4 years, it was just like this struggle, and like my inner struggle is I don't want to waste his time, because what if I don't want it anymore, or I don't want it. Actually, back then I don't want it at all. I really cannot imagine myself to be in a family with him. I can't.
Yeah.
No way. So at the end, I was just like, at some point, the point that I wanted to break up with him, it was actually him. He told me that it's okay if I don't want a family or kids. He just want to be with me. He can give up everything.
Yeah, you told us that.
Yes, and then I hit the point. I was like, I will never love him like that. No, I'm not gonna abandon anything for him.
Yeah.
I was so fucking selfish.
But I think you have to be selfish. You have to have the same goals. I mean,
actually, I want Sophia to repeat something that we missed in the recording, because I think it's very, very interesting for people also in long-term relationship who hit the point that they want to break up. I want you to talk about that again, like you talk with your boyfriend and stuff.
Well, the thing is, like, after I think 2 years or 3 years in our relationship, we hit a point where we both were like 21. And you know, this age is like very, very, unstable. You don't know who you are. You don't know what to do in your life, and you try to figure out what's your way. Yeah. And we were both kind of lost. And and the thing was that we actually had a talk then. I mean, he was really into Buddhism at the time.
Yeah, I can tell this.
And I was so much into sports, and you know, I was really obsessive with that, and it was just something completely else. We had completely different lives. We would just share our apartment and sometimes do something together, but it was like we were kind of drifting apart. And we actually then we had a very good and very honest talk about our relationship, and we both realized that we really love each other, but when this is going on like this anymore,
when life happens,
we're like, it's just drifting apart. Then life will turn us apart, and we were like, okay, but we still love each other, but something is not working. So we actually decided to let's try for another year or another 6 months, a year or something. And I don't know, after that talk, it was so much better, because we both kind of realized, wow, the other person feels exactly the same. And actually, you know, this honesty, it was just so important that we really talked about that. And I don't know, but after that time, we kind of both discovered also our passion for electronic music, which kind of bonded us together really strong, because we kind of both have the same, it's weird, but we both are kind of attracted to dark things. It's a bit weird, I know, but the minority of people understands that feeling, and we both share that, so it really connects us. And it's like, it's again having this whole world just for the two of us.
Yeah.
And I think this world just for the two of us, every relationship needs that. So and if you kind of lose that, it's really bad. Yeah, and after that talk, actually, it got really better, like much better. And okay, yes, yeah, I don't know. And now I think after that phase, I really can say I'm in a really happy relationship, and it's not going on, and I cannot imagine not having him. Nice. It's really weird, but it's like that. And of course we have our fights. Every couple has fights. And sometimes we also look at other people. But it's a difference between looking and talking and doing other things.
Yeah,
that's true.
This brings me on to my next question.
Okay.
Love and monogamy. Is love something that is only... Because obviously, like, I think, especially in Europe, our idea of love is very formed by, like, the Christianity perspective of love, which is, like, man, wife, all this stuff. Like, do you think love is monogamous? It should...
Not necessarily.
Or what do you think about the idea of, like, falling, like, 3 people... Do you think 4 people can fall in love? Because this is something I would like to try out. Anybody who's single out there, just let you know.
I think for you can achieve that for sure.
You have enough love.
Yeah, literally.
You have.
Because I don't know.
I don't. But
do you think what do you think about this idea, like 2 people not having sex with other people and being very like, just? Do you think that's realistic?
Yes, for me it is. I think it kind of. Sorry for talking again. But
go for it, girl. Go for it, girl.
It really depends on.
You thought you don't have so much to talk on this topic.
Yes. How if you're introvert or extrovert, if you like being around people all the time or not, and if you find the other person who is like exactly or in your range of introverty or whatever that word is or a noun, if this other guy is in your range, I think you can figure something out for you, But if you're both more extrovert, of course you can do open. It makes more sense.
Yeah, I have to mention the open relationship thing. I'm not gonna mention the name, but you know who I'm talking about. Our friend. Okay. So
we're back. Another disconnection from the mic.
Well, actually, the audience wouldn't realize that, but anyway.
Well, no, they need to know everything.
We're not live streaming this, no.
Yes, we are. Okay.
So yeah, our friend is probably the only one who is happy in an open relationship. I mean, he really loves his boyfriend, and
I can tell.
Yeah, they love each other, but they're also sleeping with each other, and really works out. But most of the open relationship couples I know is just one person tolerating another one, because one person loves this person so much he can accept it.
Accept it, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, I cannot imagine that, because for me, I mean, I'm an insecure person, you guys know. But for me, it feels like I'm really afraid someday he will find out someone else better than me and he will leave me. But our friend, I asked him about this concept, would you worry about that? He said, no, if he finds someone else who thinks he's better than me, he loves him more, then I'll be really happy for him, because that's the whole point of finding love. You find your real love. It was like, you wouldn't feel sad. He was like, maybe a little bit, but I believe I can find someone else who's better or whatever.
Yeah, but then then it sounds like he's not. I don't know. That to me sounds like if he's not really fussed about losing the person, how into the person is he?
That's also what I was thinking. But the thing is, possessiveness is not about love.
Yeah, I know. My mum always said to me, Jonathan, like one of her love advice things was always, if somebody wants to leave, you have to let them go. You can't hold on to them.
I think she's telling your dad. I hope your parents won't see it.
No, but I think that's very wise, because like...
Absolutely.
But
I mean, every parent will give you this advice. My mom gave you the same advice, but they're in the long-term marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't think she will do that if my dad wants to leave her. I mean, I told you the whole story about this cousin bullshit, and my mom was actually like kind of worried about it. I was like, and she just pretending that she doesn't really care, but I was like, no, mom, you do.
I don't know, but like, I don't know, like the whole thing about open relationships is, I guess in my first relationship, I ended up cheating at the end. But you don't have an excuse for cheating, but I do have an excuse. My excuse was that he said if I ever left him, he'd kill himself. And he was very
my ex-boyfriend was like that.
And it was very like, you know, and I think in a way me cheating and me falling in love with somebody else was what helped me get out of that relationship.
Yeah, because otherwise you find no way out.
Yeah. And yeah. But like so, and then my second relationship was somebody who was constantly could not do commitment at all. So like my experience,
one we know?
Yeah. So like my experience with relationships is kind of like monogamy doesn't work, and it's kind of like, and that's just my personal experience. So like I would like to try and maybe have like either an open relationship or like have like a relationship with 4 people.
But you just said yourself, like, if you're not afraid of losing this person, how much you are in love.
But I'm not saying that I wouldn't be afraid of losing them. It's just that I'd like to say that, okay, sex is just one part of our relationship. And it's okay.
What do you want to say, Sophia?
No, like, of course it's one part, but...
It's an important part.
It's very important, but I think you have to be like very similar in your outer relationship behavior, so it works. Because if the one person in the relationship is always at home, I mean, it's open, but he just doesn't care, or she, because he's like more introvert. That's actually my point with introvert extrovert, and the other one is just partying, sleeping around, you know, then it's kind of, I think it's not working. It has to be kind of balanced, like both have to have the same urge to meet other people. Maybe then it's working.
Because our friend and his boyfriend is like that. Despite of the huge difference of their age gap, but they're kind of the same. And he actually told me whenever they go out, his boyfriend is the one who stay there longer, and he's like double of his age. But he's always like very like going out and then meeting people. And then I still remember he told me the story, like one day when he was still staying in his place, his boyfriend came back. He left the party earlier and his boyfriend left later. He came by and said, I fucked 2 people in the toilet. He was like, good for you. They're like, yay.
Oh my god, that's
really nice. No, I think
it's really nice. Just
but
like,
I think it's just like 1% of people can achieve that. Honestly.
But
that was just really weird for me. I was like, what?
Well. It's funny because I was quite confident about my idea of having an open relationship, and then hearing that story, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm not ready. Because I don't know, but like we're so obsessed with like locking people down.
But you're really a you're a romantic guy.
I am incredibly emotional.
You're a living Disney.
I know, but I also like I know it doesn't work because from the figures in my life, I know it doesn't work out, and I feel like forgiveness is really important. And
I
all
think
this.
It's just the people you've met.
Yeah,
I think it is in the future.
But I think sometimes I get to know people, and then they'll tell me things, and then I don't know. You just kind of get I don't know. Yeah. So like this whole I don't know. I've still got so many questions about it.
I think we got kind of carried away on this question.
Because it's very valid.
True. But honestly, for me, open relationships never an option. So I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't really like. I admire people who can achieve that point, honestly, because they can separate possessiveness and love, and they are not afraid to lose someone. I think that's great.
That's really great.
But I don't think I can achieve that. That's the thing.
And also, I'm actually okay with not sleeping around.
Me too.
Like, it's fine for me. It's not like I have the urge to.
That comes to my a question to Sophia. I actually want to ask you: have you ever wondered how would it be like to?
Of course I did.
Or with someone else.
Of course I did, and that's of course one of the big disadvantages of being together with the first boyfriend for ages, and probably for even longer than 6 years. But that's a cost you pay. And that's it. And it's not like horrible for me. It's fine. We have really good sex. We have enough sex for me. It's working. We both like the same things, which is also very important. You have to like the same things in bed, because if you just do things just to please the other person, it's not working long term probably.
But I think I'm like you. where I can only really enjoy sex if I'm in a relationship or if I'm like really serious with somebody, because to me just...
Really?
Because honestly, if you think about it, I've been single a year now, and in this time I haven't had sex with anybody, and the only people I've done things with are people that I've dated more 5 or 6 times, and even then it's not... I feel like this whole like hopping on, hopping off, and just jumping around bed to bed is something the idea is like titillizing.
Just abusing your cat in between.
But like the actual doing it is something, and I don't know, it's just very unromantic, and it's very like, in the whole like approach on online dating, it's just very, to me, very unattractive when somebody... I admire the honesty, but I feel like, I don't know, like it's just very...
It's not about the person, it's just about the sex.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember I went on this date with this guy, and he was talking about this. He was saying that a lot of people he has sex with, you know, it's like they don't consider him.
Yes.
Which I loved it when he said that, because it's so true. And I feel like when I have sex, I want it to be like this thing where we both, you know, we're both kind of nervous, we're both connecting, we're both kind of, you know, we're worried about not just like this bam, 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 thank you, ma'am, out the door, because that's me. And I don't know, I just think, because, yeah, I don't know. And like, when I first came out of a relationship, I tried it once. And I say I tried it. My version of trying it was going on a date with the guy first, going back to his house, another day, sitting at his house like 6 hours doing nothing because I was so nervous, like drinking alcohol, trying to get like some alcohol confidence, lying in his bed like 2 sardines. He's got his half of the bed, I've got mine, watching like, honestly, we watched...
That's a real Netflix and chill.
No, honestly, and we watched 2 films together, 2 whole films in his lounge.
What the fuck? Are you on an airplane?
And then we went into his room, started watching Family Guy on the TV. I mean, literally. And then we got into the bed, and I like turned away as I got changed, and I got into his bed, like pulled the covers up. I felt, and then we like turned off the TV, then the lights. We're lying in the darkness. We're like, this is my first experience. And then he was like, well, this is awkward.
It is. After 2 films with Family Guy.
And then he was like, well, can I kiss you goodnight? And obviously once you got the first kiss, then everything else just follows. But to me, and even the sex wasn't even that good. It was just like, I felt like I was on like a roller coaster. It was just like a lot of shaking. It wasn't even that good.
I think you thought a bit too much about it.
I don't know. It was very... He was like working away as if he's like getting paid for it, and I was like, this wasn't, you know, it wasn't what my...
If he was getting paid for it, then it was really bad.
And it was just, and then we met up and had sex again, but it was kind of just very, I don't know, it wasn't that, and that's like the only time in my life...
Maybe not that intense, like this intensity that
comes
up when you kind of into a person. I mean...
I love being in love. I love having sex in love. I love cuddling and all that much more than sex.
But I think the thing is, like, it just has different levels of fun for me. Because when you have sex with someone who's not in a relationship with you, basically you don't really care. You know, you would do whatever, and if he likes it, he likes it. If he doesn't like it, then bye. No, there's no next time. It's fine. It's okay. I mean, as far as that, my concern is like, if you protect yourself, use condoms and stuff. And sex without love could be also pretty fun. I think so. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, and some guys, because usually you meet these people, they're also doing that, you know?
Yeah.
And some guys are super experienced, and even if it's just the first time you have sex, they always know how to please like your brother, let's say.
Yeah. Hi, Chris.
So I mean, if you're single, you probably listen to that. But if you're single, the world is for you to explore. And I also prefer sex with love, of course. I mean, that's the best thing. But I mean, if you have this desire and you need to kind of sort it out, course. Yeah. But the thing is, no. I mean, like I think people just have to find their own way to enjoy this kind of thing. I mean, you cannot change that if you don't like it, of course.
But I'm not sure how it is with women, but with man. So, another technical interruption. So, basically, with man, what I was saying is that we kind of have a switch. We can, if I'm really horny, I'm chatting to 1,000 guys online, trying to get some bookings for that night, and then I have a wank, and it's like I'm a completely different person. And it's kind of like... I don't know. It's
releasing the tension.
Yeah, releasing the tension. Obviously, I'm not sure how it works with women because you always hear like orgasms are different. I'm not sure. Like
no, but I mean, I think
tension as well.
Yeah, but I think for women, a lot of women don't really have high libido.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is a difference. I think for men, the libido, like the level, is usually higher, but I think like it's also different because for men, if you wank or something, let's say. I mean, for me, it's a huge difference if I do it myself and I have orgasm with someone else. You know,
I think it depends. Sometimes it's enough, and then you're
completely
sometimes
fine.
It's enough. But sometimes you do it, and then you feel like shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Even if you had an orgasm.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that doesn't. To me, when it's
no, but also the thing is that we're talking about how easy it is to get laid as a gay guy and a straight woman. I'm telling you, as a woman, what you have to do is you have to know what to show.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, it is no way in this world that having
that's true, yeah.
being gay is like you have to like get a bat and bash sex away because it's just ridiculous.
But,
you just log in.
But what if you're super unattractive?
But hey, you're living in Berlin.
Yeah.
Even when I was in Munich.
If you're living
hold my hand.
If you live in a super conservative village.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, maybe then, but like in like when I was living in England, in Northampton, in everywhere, it's just sex is like the first thing on the menu because like it's. But I think it's actually quite a tragic story because I think it's like this whole idea of like gay people not being able to love outside their bedroom, so they're just used to having that relationship in the bedroom. And I remember like I've dated a lot of people and they haven't been able to hold my hand in public, but they've been able to suck my dick in a bedroom. It's kind of like, you know, and I think this is like some huge topic. But anyway, I've got a last question I'd like to ask. I'm not sure if you two have any questions would like to ask.
I don't think so. No.
So my last question is the question I started with, is how would you describe love to somebody who has never heard of it before or never felt it?
Well...
Don't do it.
I honestly don't think people don't know it. I think everyone knows it. Maybe they just don't know that's love.
Right? Okay.
I mean, as a kid or something, you don't know what that is, but you feel happy when you see your parents. You feel so excited, you see them, you feel so lost when you don't have them.
Yes, I would definitely actually really compare that to family love.
Exactly.
But you also feel sexually attracted.
Exactly.
I mean, of course, this is not the possession phase, this is afterwards.
Yeah. But what I definitely won't say is... it's like Hollywood, Disney. That's the thing I definitely will not say.
It is in the beginning, yes.
When you finally meet somebody after dating so many assholes and you have these amazing dates.
No, because, by the way, I was
She's
talking,
got her hands in the air. She's got her hands in the air.
No, it's really kind of off topic, but I just remind me of this talk I had with my boyfriend the other day. I was just actually saying that when I was a kid, I don't know why. I really don't know why my parents did that to me. They gave me like a bunch of books. I told you the story. They gave me a bunch of books like before I could even read the symbol Chinese, but I could read back then. But I read all the fairy tale story in the original version. Mm-hmm. So the Brother Grimms and stuff like that, they were horrible.
They're really bad for
children.
Yes.
They're really bad for children. But they say it says a fairy tale. So my parents, I think my parents didn't really think about it. So I just read it, and then after a while I read Disney. I watched Disney movie, and I still remember I told my boyfriend, was like, when I was watching Little Mermaid, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna die. In the movie theater, and like, wait, what? They live happily ever after? She's not dying? And then they're like, what are you talking about? Because no kids would read it.
No, that's so funny.
And then at the end, but the thing is, I was thinking about this. I was like, would you rather let your kids listen or look at the original version when they're kids or Disney one?
100%.
Disney one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But then think about it, they will have the wrong idea of being in love.
But I think that idea is going to come through anything.
Because every Disney movie at the end is a happily ever after. But there's no happily ever after. There's still a lot of...
There is a happily ever after. It's just not how you expected.
Exactly. I mean, happily ever after. It's not... Yeah. It's not like...
It's not the exciting part. The happily ever
after.
No.
Yeah. It's not like...
The exciting part is how they come together and how
the
troubles are
the
past
thing is,
and everything.
No, but the thing is also like they didn't tell kids that in love...
relationship or even family, you have a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to conquer, and that's the thing you have to talk about with your partner or that even your family. You have to be committing. That's the thing.
Yes.
And also that's one of the things that I found when I was doing this online dating thing. I asked them what you're looking for. And the question is not actually, I don't want them to answer me, I want to find something to marry. No. That's not my question. My question is, are you open for committing?
Yes.
Because then I know we're working to the same direction. But if I'm saying that, okay, I'm searching for something someone I can commit with, and he's saying, I just want to fuck, then no, it doesn't work, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, I don't know, I just want to see how it goes. And then at the end of the online dating phase,
it was just everything open.
Yeah, but I at the end I just realized what that means for most of the guys. Basically, it means I'm not into anything serious. So yeah.
What about you, Sophia? How would you describe love?
What are you doing? Jonathan is putting tea on his eyelid.
Let's just ignore what I'm doing. Let's just focus on the question.
Describe love.
I already got my answer. Silence. This is love. Silence.
I cannot describe it. It's like you just love the person or you don't. I don't know.
So you don't think there's something you can work on?
Right.
Of course it is, but you have to love him enough to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to.
Okay, right. I'll describe love in my opinion, and then you can see if it helps you. Maybe everything I say is complete bullshit. So my so far my understanding of love, because I've really thought about this a lot recently, because like one of my friends recently said we obsess over the obsession phase, like the whole Disney thing. And I think love for me is, it's like when somebody fucks up, you're willing to forgive them. It's like understanding, and it's not always exciting, but it's kind of finding somebody who's worth all the shit. And somebody, it's mature. It's like somebody, you're saying, our friend, you know, they've got a situation that wouldn't work for many people, but they make it work because they're both at a level. But I just think it's kind of like, forgiveness is probably the biggest word, because I think everybody's going to fuck up, and it's being able to forgive them. And also major thing is honesty, and being able to be honest about your feelings, like you're saying that you and your boyfriend talked about, that you're both unsure. And I think honesty is the key, because I feel like many couples might not do that talk, and then they kind of go off and they're feeling, and then they get abstract and they kind of lose. So I think honesty, understanding, and just all that kind of stuff, and finding somebody who's just worth all the shit. And this is another thing, when I was in a relationship, it's kind of like you love the person, but there's bad things. There's always this debate between, is it worth giving up? Is it worth fighting for? Anyway, so that's my understanding of love.
I have a question from here, because I just want to ask, because do you think also feeling like the fear is also kind of love? Like the fear of
losing somebody.
Yeah, or not knowing the future.
I'm not sure if that's love. I think it's kind of like...
Maybe that's more insecurity.
Yeah. But it comes from something like love.
Yes, but I wouldn't... No, it's actually destroying love.
But how would you
destroy my last relationship?
That's what I want to ask. Like, how maybe we can make another topic about this. Yeah, because I'm just thinking like, if you're so good right now, and then you think that you're really happy, but everyone knows this bubbly face would fade away at some point, and then I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's like really think about that and start to think like, shit, when is it gonna end? Or maybe it's gonna end sometimes, and how do we do this?
But I'll answer those questions when they come.
Yeah, that's true.
So
like what you do, what you did with your boyfriend.
Is this it? Have we discussed love to its full extent? I feel like we could talk about this for hours. I feel like we just scratched the surface. But we've got lives to live, and we can't talk forever.
People wrote like millions of books about this topic, so we just talked.
So we have several. You have several technical problems. So if anyone wants to know what it was like, suddenly cut by someone, for example, I was in the middle of the weird story. So if anyone wants to know. Yeah, you can leave a comment.
And follow us on Twitter at AfterWorkMull. Don't ask me how to write it, just find it. It's
Afterwork English, and Müll,
Muell.
Yes, the German word for trash.
If you follow us and the first person to tweet us...
you can get the love from Jonathan.
The first person to tweet us love will win something so amazing your life will be changed forever. Okay, anyway.
I'm curious about that.
And if you're gay, you probably will have a chance with Jonathan.
Oh, I'm easy. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I really need the toilet.
Jonathan, I need your help.